divination is obviously, it's going to say obviously. Well, it's obviously a real thing. Divination is practiced in every culture all the time from the beginning of time. I don't think there's such a thing as a culture that doesn't have some form of divination. Even within the Bible, there's divination. The famous Urim and Thummim, they were divination things. You have Joseph, who has a cup for divination that he hides in his brother's bag. And even in the New Testament, you have the apostles drawing lots in order to decide who the next apostle is going to be. These are divination mechanisms. Now, the idea is that there's a relationship between the intention and question as a frame, right? You can understand it that way. It's like you're framing reality. You're looking at reality for a reason. And when you look at reality for a reason, then out of indefinite potential, right, out of the chaos, tohu bohu chaos that is still, I believe, underlying all of reality, forms will come up, because it's like it's analogous to when God calls forth and says to the earth, bring forth identities, and then he sees them, and then man participates in naming them. So I think that's actually how it works. Now, why are you doing that? Are you doing that because you want to if you're doing that because you want to try to predict the future in the kind of base way, or if you're doing that, usually people do that stuff because they want to get rich, really. Like, they want to guess the numbers for the lottery or some kind of nonsense like that. And so you can understand that when humans look for that type of power, they're often doing it for their, more than often, just doing it for the wrong reason. And also the other problem, I think, is that the capacity to accumulate data sets and to notice patterns across massive amounts of, let's say, generated chaos doesn't mean that you'll understand them. The insight to understand those and the insight to understand the meaning from them don't come from that generation. They come from heaven, you could say. And the capacity to interpret dreams, you could say, that you see in Joseph is similar to that. But just because you have the dream doesn't mean you can interpret it. And sometimes people, instead of being a transparent vehicle for a higher identity or reality to manifest itself, then they'll just put their will in it, and then it gets twisted right away into whatever it is that they want.
Right. Genesis 11. Mankind, they come together, they build a city, a culture, and a tower, a cult, and they're all unified, and God says they're all one people. Nothing that they do will be impossible for them. When mankind is joined together and is of one mind, but that one mind is directed contrary to the word, that is an existential threat to the integrity of creation, so that in the flood, the world just collapses. It falls apart.
Yeah. It's a great, like, nothing will stop them from doing what they want to do. And the problem is that you don't understand what it is that you want. You don't understand all the corollaries of what it is that you want. So maybe we will create a society where everybody has everything they need physically and everybody's super comfortable. And then we're like, well, why is everybody infertile now? Why is everybody desperate? Why is everybody miserable? Didn't we do what we wanted to do? And I think that's right. It's like, it's exactly right. So the story of Babel is like, they'll do what they want to do, but it's actually to their own destruction.
Yeah.